everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sue of Bendnstretch with Sue, and in today's video I'm taking you through a practice that I recently did with my students via Zoom. This one is a Yogalates practice. So if you're not familiar with Yogalates, it is a mixture of yoga and Pilates. And for this, all you'll need is your yoga mat, preferably one that has good traction. This one is actually linked in the description down below if you're interested, as well as some yoga blocks. Again, you can get through the practice without using any kind of props, but it is a good idea to have nearby if you do have accessibility to them. These are also linked down below. So with that, do be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. And as well, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content and you can check it out and check me out in the next video. So let's get going. Nice and tall, you can sit to elevate your hips if that makes it more comfortable for you as you settle in, and just taking a moment to, once you have your alignment, you can just turn the palms upward and close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and either breathing out through the nose or through the mouth. If you're able to breathe out through the nose comfortably, go ahead and do that. That will help to slow down your breathing, allowing you to capture a little bit more oxygen even as your breath is moving out by breathing out through the nose. Use your exhales to help to bring more softness into your body by softening your facial features, softening your shoulders, your chest, your upper back, and just feeling that kind of rippling down the arms all the way to your fingertips. So take one more full breath like that. And as you exhale, you can open the eyes. So taking another big breath here to incorporate a stretch as you bring the arms up, palms together overhead. Exhale to bring them to the heart center. And let's do that again. So taking your time to really stretch into the arms, into the chest, and bringing those palms back together again as you exhale them down to the heart. Let's take one more breath this time. As we exhale, I'm just going to float my right hand down to the mat, reaching up and over with the left one and simply softening into that right arm, making sure that my chest stays nice and open, the collarbones are wide, perhaps even taking a little bit of a gaze up to take your feet toward the elbow. Take an inhalation to bring that arm up. As you exhale the left one down, you're going to repeat the same stretch to the other side as I let someone else in here. And just pausing there as you hold it and breathe, and just reaching through your right arm as you continue that softness. And take your next inhale to bring both arms, or the top arm down so that you come back to a seated position. So sitting nice and tall, both arms at your sides. Just want to make sure everyone's muted once again here. And from here, as you bring the hands to your knees, sit tall, press in your chest nice and open. And then as you exhale, rounding as we move through a cat-cow sequence in here. So breathing in to open that up, lifting the heart, sliding the shoulder blades down your back, and then exhaling to reverse it as you draw the navel in, point the tailbone towards your heels, and let's do it one more time. So take it slow so that we really use this time to warm up the body and then bring it back up and release those shoulders down and away. From here, take the opposite ankle in front, so switching your seated stance, continuing to hold on to the knees here as you stay open and broad through the collarbones, breathing in and then breathing out to circle it around. Oh, and just taking your time to work out any of those kinks that you might have through the body, those sticky areas that kind of prohibit or limit your movement, limit your range of motion. And let's do that one more time around in this direction. As we come back up again, take a moment to reset, breathing in to grow a little bit taller, and then breathing out to move in the opposite direction. And again, it's just a beautiful, smooth motion. And you'll feel this massaging into your hips. We want to lubricate that hip region, the lower back also, because it will help us to just get the blood flow into that area. Because as we work our abdominals in our Pilates movements, we want to be really strong and firm through that midsection. So let's bring it all the way back up again to sit nice and tall. From here, I'm going to extend the legs out in front, sitting with the sit bones really well anchored. So sometimes it's useful to move that fleshiness away so you can really ground into your mat. And from here, I'm going to pick up the right foot, shin, knee, holding onto the right knee with my right hand and the foot with my left hand to draw that in for rocking the cradle. So moving that shin from side to side. I might even be able to go a little further. So it depends on your flexibility here. You might be able to bring the foot right into the crook of your left elbow as you continue to rock that from side to side. Continue to draw the shin a little bit closer to your chest in order to lubricate this and get, again, blood flowing into that hip joint, into the glutes, those large muscles that we're going to be using in our practice. So as you bring the foot along the inside of your left leg, you can flex your left ankle, breathing in to reach it up, breathing out to take the left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you, stay tall, and then turn to look past the shoulder. So what you want to avoid here is leaning into your right hand, but rather press firmly in those sit bones. Keep your shoulders right above your sit bones. And then on your next inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, bring it back to face forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, reaching forward. So keep the arms right alongside your ears here. Thumbs up as the palms face each other. Reach through those fingertips. Inhale to get nice and long. Exhale, bring belly a little bit closer to your left thigh. Again, reach forward through those fingertips. Open up your right knee a little bit more if you can, and then bring the hands down. Holding on to whatever you can reach. So try to keep that left leg straight. Keep that ankle flexed so the toes are drawn towards you and melt over top of your thigh. Bringing the belly to your thigh first, then your chest, then your chin, and then your nose. So you're not trying to get your nose down there while your back is really rounded. You want to keep a nice long, flat back. And as you slowly unroll yourself, come on up, sit tall, bring those shoulders right up to the ears, and then roll them down and away. Reaching through the right leg as you take a hold of the left one. Left foot, left knee. Again, you can keep the hands here holding on as you rock the cradle, gently drawing your shin closer and closer, perhaps bringing the foot to the inner arm into that elbow, and be aware as we make this journey through our bodies where you're holding on to your tension, where you might feel imbalances. See how it feels on this side compared to the other side. Feel yourself opening that up and just really feeling the space that you're making to accommodate more blood flow, more warmth into that tissue. From here, we'll take the foot, bring it along the inside of your left leg. Again, you want to feel like you're opening up this knee, so you're intending it to open. If you need support, this is where you could use a blanket or your yoga block and put it underneath if you feel pressure in here at all. As you inhale, bringing the arms up, and again, we reach across the body, taking the left hand behind and turning. Breathe, grow taller. Relax your face here, softening up your jaw. See if you can pull your right toes towards you to flex the ankle and feel that stretch a little more. Lots of opening going on through the back body. And then let it go. Come on back to face forward. Breathe in to reach up. And breathe out, reaching forward again. Palms face each other, thumbs up, fingertips reaching forward. Slide those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, reach, 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 breathe. And exhale, bring those hands down. Take a hold of whatever it is that you can reach most comfortably and continue to work your way into that stretch. So again, your right leg is straight, but you're not locking the knee. You just always want to have that little bit of micro bend in the joint. You're continuing to open up that left hip, that inner thigh, knee coming closer and closer to the floor. And then slowly unrolling yourself to come all the way up. Once again, shoulders come up, down, and away. So from here, we'll stretch out the left leg. You can shake out the legs a little bit. So feeling much warmer now. We'll bring the feet flat on the mat. So I'm just going to turn sideways here so that I can plant my feet on the yoga mat. The knees are lined up with my hips so they're not splayed out or not touching. And bringing hands to opposite elbows. Now as you open through the chest, take a big breath, grow a little taller. And as you exhale, tuck the chin in and come on down partially. So just coming down to where you know you will be able to get back up again and roll it back up. Reaching with those elbows coming forward and stretching into the back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, starting to roll your way back down. Maybe this time you're able to sneak yourself a little bit lower. Come on back up again, taking it nice and slow with control. And again, make sure those inner thighs are engaged, the midlines of the legs, tucking the chin in just slightly as if you're holding on to an orange underneath your chin. And reaching forward again. Oh, feels good. You're waking up the core, you're stretching the back. So really waking up those deep core muscles. Maybe you're able to come a little bit lower this time. Can you hold it here? Looking straight ahead. Hold. Take one more breath here. And exhale, come on up. And release. So still holding on to the elbow, sitting up nice and tall. We'll bring the right knee to touch the right elbow and sit down. Left knee, left elbow. Leaning back a little bit as we continue. Very similar movement to our tabletop toe taps as we alternate this side to side. Continuing to wake up those core muscles. Keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. And let's do one more, side to side, and bring it up. From here, open up through the chest, stretch the legs out long, take a big breath in to open the arms, thumbs down, bring the hands behind the back, press the chest open, inhale, and exhale to tip forward, lifting those hands away from your lower back. Come on back up again, inhale, and as you slide your left knee into the body, hold on to it here, lifting up the foot off the ground. So you're going to hold on to that inner thigh, pointing your left toe or right toes. You're going to lift the leg up and lower, lift and lower. So continuing to squeeze that leg in, lifting and lowering. Maybe your range of motion is really small. Maybe you're only lifting the leg and holding it there. Perhaps you're not yet ready to do the up and down motion, or you could bend the leg if you needed to and incorporate some toe taps. Last one, hold it here, hold it, let go of the leg, hold here, hold, and bring it down. Once again, stretch those legs nice and long, open up through the heart, thumbs down, hands behind the back, breathe in to puff up the chest, breathe out to bow and reach, stretch through those arms. So you bring your thighs over, or belly over your thighs, and bring it back up again. From here, we'll switch sides, holding on to your right leg. Again, that leg hovers, or foot hovers above the floor. When you're ready, point through those left toes, hovering above the mat with your leg, lift and lower. So try to maybe lift up the leg or the hand a little bit higher, just so you have better range of motion. I find it's a little easier for me on this side. You will find that as we go through these. Of course, that one side's usually a little stronger than the other, maybe better range of motion on one side than the other. And let's do one more. Lift and hold, hold or hold. See if you can let go, hold it here, hold it, and release it. Slide the shoulders up to the ears and down. Bring the hands slightly behind you. And from here, we point the toes toward the mat as we lift up into an inclined plane, holding it here. Open the chest, lift those hips up nice and high. Try to get your toes to touch the floor, and then bring it all the way back down again. As we bring the knee into the chest again, we'll take the left hand to the right knee and hold on to it as you slowly roll your way down to the mat, holding on here to the leg, pulling yourself straight up the middle rather than to the side to come into single knee stretch. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Side to side, but keeping your upper body nice and still. And let's finish it up right here, bringing both knees in and release your head down. You can take the hands to the kneecaps, make some circles, massage that low back, and let's go the other way. As we bring the legs to a tabletop position. So from here, remaining in that tabletop, or you can extend the legs long, and you might play around with lowering the legs without making sure that you're not starting to arch your back more. You might even bring the legs right up over your hips. So maybe playing around in that top range. If you are feeling like you need a little bit of modification, you want to go beyond keeping the legs bent. So you've got options, or you can always come back to supine neutral because we're now going into the 100. So as we find the position of choice, lifting up. So you can use your hands to get in that position where you're cutting on the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Arms reach forward. Collarbones are nice and open. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Now you can keep going here. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can hold the arms still, reaching them back as you inhale for 1, 2, 3, or adding the pulses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 80. Inhale, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 90. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Bring those knees in, squeeze them in once again, and rocking from side to side. As you hold on to the knees, lifting nose to your knees. Now you can hold on to your ankles here, or you can hold on to the backs of the legs. A little more challenging to hold on to the ankles than the backs of the legs, so you decide which one's appropriate for you. As we rock, trying to keep that rounding in the back. So see if you can, as best as possible, avoid the flat areas. So try to round in the back here. That's going to help to really promote flexibility of the spine. See if you can hold your balance at the top as you hover. Last one here, and bring it up. From here, we'll cross the ankles and come on to the hands and knees. As you stack your wrists underneath your shoulders and spread your hands nice and big to make a large handprint. Pull the belly in to keep that low back supported. Let's bring the right arm alongside the ear, thumbs up, left leg reaches back. Breathe in, keep your body centered as you breathe out, and bring the elbow toward the knee. Inhale to reach, exhale to squeeze. Breathing in and out. Inhale and exhale. So focus on control. Last one, and bring it down. Switching it over to the other side, same thing. Focus on length, lift of the belly. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep a little softness in that right elbow. And last two. One more. Bring it out and bring it down. Push back and come on into a little bit of a stretch here. A nice stretched out child's pose. Come up onto the pads of the fingers, maybe walking them away a little further as you push the tailbone back a little further. And then come on up, tucking the toes under and making your way into a downward facing dog. Bending your right leg, straighten your left one. And if you're able to get your heel down to the floor, lift the toes up on your left foot. Then bend them both, straighten the right one, same thing here. Maybe you can get the heel down and lift the toes up. Don't bring your hands any closer though in order to try to do that. And then bend them both. From here, moving forward into a high plank position. Inhaling. Exhale, pull your belly button towards your spine as you get those hips way up and back. Inhale, take it forward. So we're warming up the shoulder joints here. The backs of the legs are getting a great stretch. Core is nice and stable. Let's do one more, just like that. And take it forward, holding your plank. So bring the feet a tiny bit wider here than the inner hips. So not too wide so that they're at the outside of the hips. Come right up onto the balls of your feet. So trying to get your heels stacked above your balls of the feet. Come on down onto the forearms, interlacing fingers and pressing into the forearms. Elbows are about the width of your shoulders, not too wide. And from here, roll forward and pull it back into dolphin. Moving forward, it's a gliding motion. So glutes are squeezed here, core strong. Press it back. Inhale here. Exhale. Take it back. Inhale. And exhale. Really emphasizing the lift of those hips. One more time. Take it to your plank. Walk the hands back under the shoulders. Push it back to downward dog. Lift up, way up onto the balls of the feet. Look to the space between your hands. And you are either walking or you're hopping to bring your feet to meet your hands. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Wrap the arms around the backs of your legs. Give yourself a nice squeeze here. And just release, surrender. Give your head a little shake, yes, no, a few times. And then as you soften through those legs a little bit more, take your time to go slow and to unroll to make your way up into Tadasana, mountain pose. So at the top of the mat here, take a moment to really feel yourself well grounded through the soles of the feet. So always a good idea to press down into the balls of those feet, heels. Lift up your toes, then press your big toes down. Spread the other ones apart and release the arms at your sides. Find your drishti in front of you. Create a little bit of movement forward and back. Really feeling yourself anchored and grounded. Take an inhalation to bring the arms up. And as you exhale, bringing the right hand alongside the right leg. Slide those fingertips down. Reach up and over. Taking your left fingertips right at the base of the skull as you turn and look up towards your left elbow. Beautiful stretch for the obliques. As you inhale, bringing your right arm up, left one comes down, same thing. Hips go to the right, fingertips slide down the leg, reach, 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 taking your right hand at the base of the skull, turn, look to that elbow, breathe into that beautiful opening that you created in the right rib cage, waist, and inhale, bring both together overhead, a little bit of a lean back. Inhale, exhale, dive it down. Take an inhalation here with a nice flat back, and as you exhale, step back with your right foot, planting it down. Turn the toes out slightly to the diagonal as you make your way up into warrior one. Square up the hips, bend the front knee as you lift your heart forward and upward. Take your left hand, bring it onto your lower back, or if you're able to reach, bring it onto the back of your right leg. Continue to just turn the palm of your right hand a little bit toward the wall behind you, and then reach it back. So creating a bigger back bend as you continue to maybe slide those left fingers down the leg a little bit more, keeping a good bend in the front leg, and then bring it up, inhale. Breathe in fully, breathe out. Swan dive those hands down and step that right foot to meet the left. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Sweep those arms wide, little baby back bend, and exhale, hands to your heart center. Breathing in, open up. And breathe out, take a beautiful bow, hinging right at the hip creases as you fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, hands plant down. Take a big step with the left leg, planting that foot back. You're more or less lining up your heels. You're turning the back toes diagonally. You're pointing both hip bones straight ahead and reaching the arms up.
to find your warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. The more you bend that front leg, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in that back calf. So you're intending to have approximately one of your leg's length between the front foot and the back foot. Again, you can take the left or the right hand on the left leg or your lower back. Keep your collarbones open, so try not to twist your body to reach back, and then reach up with your left hand. Turn your palm a little bit toward the wall behind you. Maybe you're able to slide that hand down the back leg as you remain open through the heart, breathing in, bending that front leg a little more, and then inhale, float it up. Exhale, swan dive, those hands down. This time, we step it back to a plank position. From your toes or from your knees is fine. We're going to lower all the way down to our mat. As you bring the hands behind the back, once again, interlace fingers, reach those hands away as you lift your chest. Breathe in to lift up. Breathe out, bring it down. Hands come alongside the rib cage. Elbows tuck in. Press it up. If you can, hips come off the floor for an upward dog. If not, you can just come into a cobra. You can make it as big or small as feels good to your spine. Open the heart a little bit more here. And then, if possible, rolling through the tops of those feet to come into your downward facing dog. So open up those hands. Make sure you've got a big handprint going on here. And then lift your right leg up. Reach it up, point your toes. Bring your belly closer to your left thigh. As you reach through those toes, reach, 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 reach. And then bring the knee into your chest. A little squeeze here as you hold and pause. Inhale again, reach it up, lift, reach, 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 bring belly towards your thigh, reach up toward the ceiling as if you're going to touch it with your right foot, and then bring it in, tuck, squeeze and hold. One more. Now if you needed to modify, you could come down on your knees in a table and just reach the leg back and bring it into your chest instead. So that would be a good modification. From here, we do it one last time. So again, touch the ceiling, intend it, reach it, square up your hips, bring the knee in, squeeze and hold, and now step that foot to the top of your mat. Stay on the ball of your back foot as you make your way up into a high lunge. So take your time to really feel that grounding. Bring the hands together when you're ready, interlacing fingers. Bend the back knee as you reach across with the arms. So reaching through those index fingers, bending that back knee, straighten the leg as you reach it, back up again, inhale, open. Exhale, bend, reach across, work those obliques, and inhale. One last one. You've got the hang of it now. Bend that back knee, reach across, hold it, bring it up, inhale, and exhale, open up to warrior two. So take your time to set up your warrior two. Slide those shoulder blades down, bend that front knee. See if you can bring your back hand and wrap it around that front thigh. So you're trying to get the fingers to your front inner thigh. Turn your palm up, keep the front knee bent. Reach up to reverse your warrior, sun warrior. Reach, reach, reach through those fingertips. And then cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Step it back into a plank. Nice and strong, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. From here, we're going to keep the hands reaching forward, keeping those palms facing each other, tucking the tailbone, pulling the navel to the spine. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, lift everything up. And then bring it down. Inhaling at the bottom. Exhale, lift it up, squeeze through those glutes, and bring it down again. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. This time we go up, we hold it and swim it out, keeping your hips, your shoulders, everything nice and squared as you swim out those arms, those legs, squeezing through that back body. And keep it going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch, a little pause. You stack your hands, left ear to the hands, right knee out to the side, half frog. Breathe. Releasing that low back. Let's switch it around to the other side, other ear, other knee. And bring it back. In alignment, bring those hands outside your ribs once more. Elbows tuck in. Now, I'll give you some options here. You can either go through your upward dog, cobra, upward dog, to a downward dog or child's pose, or you can tuck the toes under, activate the whole core. If you want an extra challenge, breathe in, keep those elbows close, and press your way up into your high plank, nice and strong. Take a breath here, move it back, downward facing dog. So we're going to take 5 recovery breaths in either downward dog or a child's pose. So you decide which one's going to serve you best. And from here, we're going to make sure the weight is being sent back into the feet rather than into the arms. Always really important. Our tendency is to kind of want to support ourselves with the arms, and that's really hard on that upper body into the shoulders. Use your big muscles, use your core, use your legs for your downward dogs. And let's go into our sequence on the other side. So reach up with your left leg. So again, it's as if you're going to touch the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach up, stretch the back of that leg, and then bring it in. Tuck it in and hold. Breathing in to reach up and back. Level your shoulders here. Try not to twist that upper body. And bring it in again. Squeeze to exhale. Use that space, that stretch to really breathe in fully. And then breathe out as you tuck in and compress the breath out. So let's go again. Touch the ceiling and bring it in. Let's go, last one. This one is going to take us to a little hold and squeeze, and then step the foot in. Stay on the ball of your back foot. So once again, find your way up to your high lunge, squaring the body, reaching up, interlace fingers for steeple hands. Stay on the ball of that back foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knee, take it across. Working the obliques on the other side. Inhale. So challenging the balance, straighten the back leg again, and then bend as you take it across. Hold. Last one. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And take it up again. Open up. Warrior 2. So nice long arms here. And press your front knee open. Press firmly into the inner and outer edges of both feet, except for the arches. They continue to lift. Now take that back arm, wrap it around, and see wherever it's accessible to you. You might find that your hand has to stay up higher. I have long arms, so it makes it a little easier for me to wrap around. Palm turns up and reach it up and over. Keep pressing that front knee open. Keep breathing in to your open space. Bend that front leg, reach, make it feel really nice. Breathe in. One more. Reach through those fingertips, look up, and then cartwheel those hands to the top of your mat. Inhale into that downward dog. Exhale. Take one more breath. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift up onto the balls of both your feet. Bring your belly to your thighs, and you're either going to walk or hop to bring the feet to the top of your mat. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, sink your hips. Bring those arms right by your ears. As we hold our chair, get your hips nice and low. Weight in the heels, wiggle your toes a little bit here. And then take the arms out in front as we gradually bring ourselves into a really deep squat. Use your hands if you need to bring your bottom all the way down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Hold on to your toes, keep your heels connected. Breathe in tall and breathe out to tip. Bring body over your feet. Reach through the head, lengthen from the tailbone up through the crown of your head. Keep tipping forward, 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 forward. And bring it all the way back up again. So bring those legs back to that same position we started, feet flat on the floor, and from here we bring the arms alongside the legs. Take a breath in, get a little longer, shoulders feel like they're plugged into your upper back, tuck the chin in, and slowly bring yourself down with control. Bring the hands right alongside your hips, palms down, and walk your feet in to come into a preparation for your bridge. I'm just going to give myself a little bit more room here, as you want to make sure that your chest is feeling nice and open. The heels, balls of the feet are ground, toes are spread, so you've got a really good connection. From here, lengthen through your tailbone and start to peel it up into your bridge. So squeezing through the glutes and really trying to elevate the hips as much as you can. But feel the leveling. Now, if you need to take a break at any point here, go ahead and do that. Press into your left foot, press into your hands, and reach up with your right leg. Reach it up, reach through those toes, keeping the hips level, flex to lower the leg. Reach and point, lower and flex. Breathing in and breathing out. Again. Hold it down here. Point the toes now. Take your left hand, place it by your ear. As you lift your right leg, reach your left elbow towards your right leg and bring it back again as you lower the leg. Lift and reach across, really working those obliques. Now, if you need to bring your hips to the floor, go ahead and do it. Again, but listening to your body. We've got two more like that. And one more. Level those hips. Bring that knee in, step the foot in, and lower it down. Stretching out. Both legs long. Open it up, inhale. And bring those hands back alongside the hips. Bring the feet back to where they were. And from here, reaching your right leg long, clasp the back of it. Walk your hands up the back of that leg. Give it a nice pull. As you stretch it out, you can circle the ankle around here a few times to limber it up in both directions. Now you can bring your left foot a little further away. Now perhaps you keep your left foot on the floor, or you're able to lift it up and hold it that way as you continue to reach through your right tippy toes. You can bring the index fingers to your hip bones or alongside your hips, but we're going to do internal circles for 1, keeping the hips stable and still for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go the other way for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here. Hold it, lifting up. And as you bring yourself up, we're take an inhale and exhale, exhale. Switching the legs. Exhale, exhale. Breathe in, out, out. Breathe in, out, out. Now you can continue to use the hands, or you can bring hands behind the head as you continue the movement with your legs. 1 more to each side. Bring the legs up, bend the knees, and bring your feet on the floor to lift yourself back up into your bridge. Because of course, what we do on one side, we must always do on the other side. So hips are nice and level. Press firmly through those feet. Bring the weight into the right foot as you lift up the left leg, pointing the toes and lowering as you flex. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out. 2 more. 1 more. Hold it here, point the toes. Bring your right hand right by the ear. Inhale and exhale. Bring it across for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you bring a bend to that leg, step the foot in, lift and squeeze a little bit more, and lower it down. Stretching the legs and the arms out nice and long. You can bend your right leg if you like, or keep it straight as we maybe lift the leg up or keep it down on the floor. You decide, holding on to that left leg. You can circle out the ankle, limbering it up both directions, pulling it a little closer, lifting up, point through those left toes as you lift up, breathing in and out. Out, inhale, exhale, 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 exhale. Breathe in, out, out. Breathe in and out. I just realized I forgot my leg circles, so they're going to come next. Last one. Or you can keep going without holding on to the leg, or keep going the way you were. So 1 more to each leg. And from here, lower the right hands either to the hip bones or alongside the body as you circle in and circle out. For 3, you could have that right leg lifted here as well. 4 and 5. Go the other way. 1. Nice big round movement. 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. And bring those knees in. Well done. Lots of work for that core. Let's massage out the back here. As you bring your nose to your knees, see if you can reach either for your big toes, maybe the outside or even the inside edges of your feet. Lots of modifications. You could hold on to ankles or wrap the arms around the backs of your legs. But let's come into your version of a happy baby. So you do want to try to have your ankles above your knees. You can pull on either side to really massage out that low back. And if you emphasize pointing your tailbone or pressing your tailbone down to the floor, you will get more area that you cover for your massaging motion, so it feels quite nice. Now as you come to the center, if wherever you need to grab onto, can you straighten the legs so that you begin to get more opening in the backs of the legs all the way into those inner hips, inner thighs, feeling awesome. And letting gravity help you here with some of that stretch in the inner legs as well as the backs of the legs. If your hamstrings are really tight, Achilles tendons, calves, this is going to feel like a pretty deep stretch. And then of course you've got everything that's going on in the inner legs. So holding it here for another breath or two. And then bring it back. Once again, so as you bend that right leg, see if you can wrap the left one around. Now you might not be able to wind them completely. What you could do is just cross the legs and then take a hold of one of your knees, both of your knees, and squeeze them in, maybe lifting up the nose toward those knees. Maybe you're able to reach down a little bit more to get even more pull, more compression of your thigh onto your belly. And you're going to feel this in the hips as you draw those legs in closer. So if you're able to keep them wound, you can shimmy the hips just a tiny bit to the left as you press your left shoulder blade down and bring your knees down toward the floor. Now if it's too much for you to keep them wound or crossed, just uncross them and stack them instead. As you press that left shoulder blade, and see if you can turn your head toward your left hand as well, relaxing your face, breathing into your left side, softening your face, bring a smile to your face. That's going to help to relax your jaw, smiling more, and it's going to send really positive energy through your whole body. And then carefully making your way back up as you unwind those legs. From here, you can straighten out the spine, make sure you're well aligned as we start out. And as you bring the legs up again, keep the left one softened as you cross the right one over top and see if you can wind it around as well. Again, one side, usually a little heavier or easier. Shimmy the hips to the right as you allow your legs to tip over to the left. Oh, that feels amazing. So much good stuff going on this one. Again, but if it's too much, uncross and simply stack your legs. Press that right shoulder blade down. If you look to the right hand, you will feel that deepening your stretch right into the obliques, into the chest, the shoulder. What an amazing stretch for your hips, your glutes, your lower back releases. Breathe again if you can. Bring a smile to your face. If for no other reason, knowing that it's all over, you've done a good thing for yourself today. Showing up, giving it your best. Sometimes it's just a matter of showing up and going through the motion, and then before you know it, you're getting into it and you're starting to feel more in tune with your practice as you bring it all back up again. Oh, unwind those legs, bring them wider, then your hips, reposition the spine, wipe your blade from side to side. And as you allow the legs to tip over to the right, cradle your head as you reach for your top foot. So this is always a favorite of mine because you can pull the foot towards your bottom and you can cross the top leg over. Now if you want a deeper one like this, what you could do is keep that foot pulled in as you come onto your back to come into a half saddle, as it's known in yin, or half hero, as it's known in a yang practice. And you can lay back, stretch your arms up overhead as you keep the foot alongside your hip. So you get a really good stretch through the ankle. So the two variations can work really well. The first one I showed you is a lot more gentle, but it's great for getting into the belly of the quads here, into those group of 4 muscles in the front of your thigh, which is really beneficial to the knee, because quite often knee problems stem from tight hips, tight quads, even a tight IT band. So it just throws the delicate balance off. So as you come onto your back again, you can stretch out both legs, both arms, inhale, and as you exhale, rolling onto the other side to, again, reach for the foot, pulling it in, and staying here, maybe adding your IT band stretch, or coming onto your back as you keep the foot right alongside your hip, and stretching the arms out nice and long. Breathing and holding. Relaxing with the exhales is going to give you that much more surrender into your stretch, allowing you to just feel that tension melting away every time you breathe out. So take another full length breath here, taking your time with your exhale. And then as you release it, bring both arms, both legs long, inhaling, and exhaling to float those knees back to your nose, rounding, and once again massaging out the back to come all the way up to seated. So as we come into a seated position, I'm just going to take my right shin, actually I'll go sideways here so that you get a better look and I have a little bit more room. You bring that left knee out to the side in a deer pose, or you may prefer to stretch it right back into a pigeon pose. So leveling the hips and pressing up, first to come into proud pigeon or deer, and then moving down into a sleeping expression of that pigeon pose or deer. So 2 options. That first one can make it a little bit more gentle if you have a lot of tension in your hips, or maybe if you have specific issues with the hip, like a hip replacement, even the knees sometimes, if there's something going on with those, can make it a little prohibitive to come into pigeon. As you make your way up again, pressing the floor away and keeping the hands in front, maybe sitting to the side, or as you stay squared, bending that back leg and reaching for that foot to bring yourself into, again, more of a quad stretch. As we take that foot and bring it right around to the outside of our left knee, take the left foot, bring it by the hip, hug your right knee into the body, reaching up in here, and exhale to bring it back behind you. So again, you want to keep your shoulders right above the hips. You want a little bit more depth yet. You can take your elbow outside of your knee. Continue to square up the chest. Breathe in to reach up tall, and breathe out to let it go. Switching sides. Other shin comes across. Again, either setting up for deer, or take that left leg straight back, level out the hips, Breathe in to get nice and long, and breathe out to make your way down to sleeping pigeon. Take another couple breaths. See if you can melt the tension out of the hip. And then making your way up, bending that back leg, pulling it towards you, maybe with the opposite hand or the same hand. Lifting through the heart. And let's finish it up by taking the foot across. A little squeeze of your right heel towards your left hip. Left knee towards your right shoulder. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Looking back. Maybe the elbow slides along the outside. And then let it all go. As you unwind and make your way to comfortable seated position, sitting nice and tall. Now, I invite you, if you do have the time, you can just lay back and come into a few moments of relaxation and quiet and just really let your body integrate all of the work that we've done this morning. Or if you need to go, let's do it with one big stretch in here. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment to really appreciate the time that you have gifted yourself with this morning. Time for self-care, time to develop strength and really discipline of showing up on the mat. Let that empowerment just really translate into empowerment in your day. Namaste.